All right. What is going on, everybody? We're now live. I got a lot to say today. If you haven't seen the news, what rock have you been under? For those that don't know, Roe v. Wade was overturned today by the Supreme Court. Despicable to me. The fuck are they thinking? There will be some cursing in here. Sorry about that. I'm not happy about this. This completely is bullcrap. So we'll start it off. We're just gonna jump right into it. Not gonna talk about anything else. Like, not gonna get into anything right now. So the U.S. Supreme Court actually did it today, guys. They actually took rights away from women today, and this sets us back about like 50 years, because I believe Roe versus Wade was 50 years ago, or at least the case was 50 years ago that stemmed this law going in. The decision comes at a 6-3 vote and is stemming from a case in Mississippi involving a law that bans abortion after 15 weeks. The law being challenged on the grounds of that a fetus can survive outside of the womb after 23 weeks. So Mississippi saying a fetus can survive outside of the womb after 23 weeks. If that's true or not, I don't know. I haven't looked that up, but that was not the point of that case in Mississippi. Mississippi had a clear point in that case of trying to get the judgment of Roe v. Wade overturned. They were literally just trying. That's like they had an ulterior motive with that case to try to get this overturned. Something we've had for 50 years overturned. Something that gave the rights to women to have an abortion if they so choose. That was taken away today. So Chief Justice John Roberts, with the majority to uphold, or voted with the majority to uphold the Mississippi abortion restrictions, but not approve tossing out Roe altogether. So basically, he was agreeing with the Mississippi part of abortion, where if it's after 23 weeks, you can't abort. But he didn't want to throw out before then. So anywhere between day 1 to 29 weeks and 6 days, he was saying we will allow it. Justice Alito wrote that the Constitution does not confer a right to abortion. It does not, or he does not, or he continues to say that the Constitution does not prohibit the citizens of each state from regulating or prohibiting abortion. Roe and Casey arrogated that authority. We now overrule those decisions and return that authority to the people and their elected officials. This opinion was copied word for word from an article Alito wrote last year that was leaked. So basically, Alito saying that the authority goes to the people and their elected officials. Well, the elected officials don't have the, where'd you put it? They don't have the best intentions, and they don't have the best wishes involved for the people that they were elected by. So they did this for their own agenda. There were 3 justices that did not vote with this. They voted against it. They are Justice Breyer, Kagan, and Sotomayor. They wrote, respecting a woman as an autonomous being and granting her full equality meant giving her substantial choice over the most personal and most consequential of all life decisions. The Supreme Court now says that from the very first moment of fertilization, a woman has no rights to speak of. A state can force her to bring a pregnancy to term, even at the steepest personal and familial costs. Going on to say, some states will not stop there. Perhaps in the wake of today's decisions, a state law will criminalize the women's conduct too, incarcerating or fining her for daring to speak or obtain an abortion. And as Texas has recently shown, they're a state that can turn neighbor versus neighbor. So basically, if somebody wants an abortion in Texas and they want to leave the state to go get it, somebody's going to rat them out. And states like Texas and other states that we'll mention later on are already in the midst of putting these laws into place and putting laws into place that prohibit somebody from going to another state. Now, Justice Clarence Thomas, this guy also was one of the people that were in the lead of the insurrection. He writes, the Supreme Court should reconsider all the court's substantive due process precedents, including Griswold, contraceptives, Lawrence, which is same-sex relationships, and Obergefell, which is same-sex marriage. All of these could be next on the table to be stripped away and reversed like Roe has been now. So basically, he's saying anything to do with contraceptives should be reversed, same-sex marriages should be basically abolished, and same-sex relationships. So you're telling the people, you're saying basically we evolved and we caught up with the times, but because your old ass doesn't believe in that, you want to go back to the 1950s and live there. Go get yourself a fucking time machine, asshole. We're in a new time. That type of law, that type of rule does not make sense for now. We are in the now. We are not back then. That doesn't work now. But they don't care. You got a bunch of old heads. You got 9 old people born before the 60s who just are out of touch with what's going on in today's world. Lawmakers aren't going to be done here, aren't going to be done right now with abortion. Lawmakers are already trying to make laws that ban people from leaving their state that has abortion laws and going to other states that don't have abortion laws. Nancy Pelosi came out today and said that the Republicans are plotting to try to do a nationwide ban, and that their goal is to get Republican majority in Congress, and that cannot be allowed. Republicans have been out talking about this as a victory, celebrating their overturn. This overturn. The most important thing is the now and the future, and right now, a healthy majority of this country feel women should have the right to an abortion. So Republicans are not trying to take away your guns. They're not trying to put gun control laws down to stop the killing of children and to stop the killing of American people. But they want to tell you as a woman, you have no right to abort a baby. You have no right over your body, is what they're trying to tell you. This is just, it's insane that this happened today. Like I said, you got a bunch of old heads trying to make laws, or trying to reverse laws in this case. We're definitely going backwards in time. We're not going forward. We are straight going backwards right now. There is no forward momentum. And honestly, no one has a right to tell a woman what she should do with her uterus, what she should do with her body. The only person that should be able to tell her what she should do with her body is her. Women have rights. Women are equal, but the Supreme Court today has said women are not equal. Women do not have rights, and they have no right in aborting something or aborting a baby. The Supreme Court is telling everyone, no matter what has happened to you, you have no right as a woman. A woman can be raped, and the Supreme Court is telling her you have to carry that baby and deliver it. You have to live with the constant reminder of that rape. The Supreme Court is also making the country go backwards at this point. So yesterday there was a decision made by the Supreme Court again to overturn a law that's in place in New York that gives authorities more, how would you put it? It gives authorities more leadway into who should own a gun and who shouldn't, or who should have a concealed carry permit and who shouldn't not own a gun. Um, so basically, New York's law right now, well, before yesterday, New York's law was that if you wanted a concealed carry permit to be out in public, you had to have a valid reason. You had to have either a self-defense reason or a proper cause as to why you had to have a concealed carry license. And that was regulated by the people that give that out. So the government was regulating that. So basically what this is saying, so with these two things kind of combined, where my mind is, I'll let you know. With these two things combined, what they're telling you is as a woman, you have to have a kid. We are telling you you're not allowed to abort this child, but we also will not help protect your kids. So this is also going with the government, with the Congress, because there has been nothing done from the Uvalde shooting from Robb Elementary so far. There's nothing coming up with this. They have nothing in place for it, but they're literally telling women you have to have a kid no matter what the situation is. The Supreme Court doesn't have the balls, and this government doesn't have the balls to stand up for gun control, because they're telling you you have to have a child, but then in the same sentence, the Supreme Court's telling you, hey, we're not going to put stricter things on gun control. We're just going to allow your kids to die. We're not going to sit here and tighten up on gun control. We're just going to let these mass shootings at schools still happen. So think about that. They're telling you you have to have a child, but then they're not helping protect your child from those type of incidents that happened in Sandy Hook, in Parkside, in Columbine, in Robb Elementary. They're not helping prevent those type of things, and that's just pure disgusting. This government is abiding by, and the Supreme Court are abiding by a constitution that was written in the 1700s. Now keep in mind, the Constitution was written by men that had slaves. This government is not evolving with the times, and they have not shown signs of evolving. You can't stick with the same document and think that this is the end all, and think that that is the end all be all. But that is what they're doing. They're telling you that this is the end all be all. We're not going to do anything different. This document is what we're going to go by, and you have to deal with it. You have to sit here and deal with what we don't want to, because we're too afraid to do anything about it, which is completely disgusting to me. Now, so what this means for the now, within the next month, you're going to have states like Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, North and South Dakota, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Kentucky, and Texas that already have trigger laws in place for when Roe v. Wade was reversed. So as soon as Roe v. Wade was going out, there are trigger laws in those states that I had mentioned that are going to just ban abortion right away. So don't be surprised when you see within the next month, that those states already have things in place. You have places like Kentucky. The governor over there had already said that that's going to be one of the first states that completely just bans abortion. Mississippi, this was right up their alley. Like I said in the beginning, they wanted this. They were trying to get this. They were trying to persuade the Supreme Court into this. States that are likely to ban it or have some kind of twist to the abortion laws will be Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Iowa, and Alabama. Most of the other states are uncertain on what they want to do. Those states that are uncertain, I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Just give me 1 sec. Those states that are uncertain with this, they're looking to wait and see which way basically the wind blows. So right now I pulled it up. Uncertain states, you got Montana, Nevada, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, and Philadelphia. States that are likely to just remain, or likely that abortion is going to remain illegal. You've got California, California, Nevada, Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, Minnesota, Illinois, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, Maine, and New Jersey. Those states are going to be likely to be staying with abortion laws. So, like I was saying before, you've got those states that'll stay more than likely with an abortion law, but then you've got other states that will have abortion laws or ban abortion. And if people try to go from a banned state to a non-banned state, those banned states are going to try to prosecute that person. Now, in California, though, they're already putting laws in place to where abortions are still legal, and that if a person from a state that was banned goes and has an abortion in that state, they cannot be prosecuted. Basically, California legislation passes a bill to protect abortion providers and patients from civil suits. So somebody cannot civilly, if you're from Texas and you go to California to have an abortion, somebody cannot civilly sue you for leaving your state and going to another state. You are protected, and the person that did the abortion is protected from that. So that just means you're going to go do it if you need to. We're in a state that you have to. But what this also means is that if it's a poor person or a person that's not able to get out and do this type of thing, they're going to go try to find it wherever they can. What the Supreme Court did isn't stopping abortion, it's stopping legal abortions. What this is doing is it's going to make the death rate about abortions, or the death rate with abortions, go up. It's going to skyrocket because you're going to try to go find a place illegally now to go do this. It's not going to stop you from going to do this. If you want to have an abortion, you're going to go have it. And that's the sad thing about this, is people are going to go find the cheapest way to have an abortion and keep it under wraps because they don't want the kid. Like I said, they were raped or something like along those lines. And that's sad that people are going to have to go do that. And a lot of people are going to die from that, because when you go and you do something illegally, or you do something that isn't going to have the best care with it, you're not going to wind up in the best type of situation. They're not going to have the best type of care for you after the fact. You're going to think you can't go to the hospital for this, because then once you leave the hospital, you're going to get put in jail. And that's complete bullshit. So guys, let me know what you think about what happened with Roe v. Wade. Let me know what type of state you live in and what their stance is. If you live in one of these states that are automatically, or one of these trigger states that are automatically going to be putting these bans in place, make or comment down below. And guys, I didn't plan on doing this today, but this overturn really pissed me the fuck off. Like, fuck the Supreme Court. Like, come on, we got to do better. When voting comes up, get better, or elect better officials to be put in office. Right now, honestly, it looks like Democrats are going to be the best way to go. Because as long as they hold the majority, there's not going to be a nationwide ban on this. Obviously, do what you want. Anybody pro-life right now that's celebrating this, go to hell. I mean, look, love everybody. Yes, I want kids to stay alive. Every person, every baby deserves to live. But that's not up to me. That is up to the person having the baby. Well, not the person having the baby. That is up to the woman that's having the baby. If she doesn't think it's right for her, she should be able to say, I want to have an abortion. Some old people sitting up on a perch should not be the ones making decisions whether somebody needs to be a mother or not. This is disgusting and it's wrong. So I will see you guys tomorrow. We've got episode 5 coming out tomorrow. It's entitled I Am Missing. We're going to be going over Harmony Montgomery and Summer Wells, who are two children that are missing one since 2019, one since last year. So guys, like I said, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know where you stand, what state you live in, and I will see you guys tomorrow.